Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Indie Filmmaker. So you might be wondering, why in the world has Shooting Saturday changed to Indie Filmmaker? Chris, this is the third time you've changed the name. Okay, I know I've changed the name several times. At first it was Film Friday, then Shooting Saturday, and now Indie Filmmaker. The reason it was Film Friday was because that made sense. Film, as in movies, on Fridays. Then Shooting Saturday came along, and recently I realized Shooting Saturday doesn't necessarily have to do with film, because Shooting Saturday could be implied as a show where you shoot guns, as in Shooting Saturday. So now I've changed it to something much better, such as Indie Filmmaker. That's just plain and simple. Also, if you didn't notice the new intro, I think it's really awesome, and I have this now, which is super cool. This is my new lower thirds, so yes, I'm Chris Walker, and I really like that. We also have, yes, official Indie Filmmaker background music, so that's playing right now. So I'm really trying to up the quality of these videos, try to give them a consistent 2-minute length, and from now on, this is going to be the Indie Filmmaker shot. This is where I'm going to shoot them from this angle every time to give you guys some more consistency, and you can expect more of kind of the same thing every week. So, Aperture is essentially a small hole on the inside of your lens that allows different amount of lights in depending on its size. It's made up of several blades. They can be various different shapes. I've seen ones that are more angled and others that are more round depending on the quality of the lens and the lens manufacturer. With cameras that have full manual control, like my DSLR, I have full control over my aperture, which is how open or closed it is. Now, this is where it gets slightly confusing, but you'll get it after a little while. The lower the aperture number, the more open it is, and the bigger the aperture number, the more closed it is. So just think of them as switched. Now, whenever your aperture is more open, it lets in more light and you have a more shallow depth of field, which means that more things behind you are out of focus. Whenever you have a more closed aperture, less light comes in, and then you have more things in the background in focus. Now, sometimes you might want a brighter shot, but you also want the background to be in focus. So you close down your aperture so that the background is in focus, but you can also jack up what's called your ISO. That's how sensitive the sensor on the inside of your digital camera is to light. Now, be careful with your ISO, because at certain points on certain cameras, you start to get what's called noise, which is essentially little flickering dots in layman's terms that can look extremely ugly if you're not careful. Most cameras, like mine, have ISO sweet spots, which is where you can get the most performance but the least amount of noise. So that's basically all I have for you guys on aperture and a little bit on ISO. Thank you guys so much for watching Indie Filmmaker, and I'll see you later.